Hello and welcome everyone. This is a screencast-o-matic recording for the part of the lesson that has us looking at yes and no reasons on the issue of should we get rid of political parties. Please be advised that you are to type in your own words a brief explanation about what each person said when they were surveyed, looking at the top, 5 reasons for each column here for the yes and the no sections. So what we're going to do for this part of the reading is we're going to go through the yes reasons first, and then the no reasons on this side. Remember, you can replay any part of this presentation for detail or clarity later. Let's go ahead and get started. So on the issue of whether or not we should get rid of political parties, here are the yes reasons. Political parties are only causing nothing but problems. I'm an independent and I wholeheartedly believe that political parties are doing more harm than good. Instead of people collectively voting for who they think will be the best person for the job the final vote comes down to just two people who have polar opposite beliefs. Also, because people tend to only vote for Republican or Democrat, no other political party has even an inkling of chance of getting into the presidency, even if that candidate is the best person for the job. Personally, I'd do away with political parties and primaries, which would mean you would gasp to have actually researched what each candidate represents and what they would make a good politician. For the record, George Washington refused to be part of a political party, making him the only non-party president ever. Another yes reason here why we should get rid of political parties is conveyed to us right here. Having political parties impedes the government's ability to pass constructive laws. If we get rid of political parties, people would have to vote people into power based on individual instead of the party they are affiliated with. Lawmakers are essentially required to vote within their party lines rather than for what they think is right, or they risk losing their cushy job. We see constantly that Congress is unable to do anything productive because the politics get in the way of passing legislation. Most people who vote don't even know any of the people that they are putting in charge of the laws they are supposed to follow. They just vote straight ticket Republican or Democrat. Instead of voting for the actual stances of the individual politicians, they then wonder why we keep getting the same results as all the politicians before. George Washington even predicted that this would be a problem and warned against it in his farewell address. Get rid of political parties or get rid of political party power. We have the right to associate, so parties are inevitable. However, the political process needs to change to remove the party powers from the election and establish an even playing field for all parties. An open election where the top two candidates in a primary regardless of party affiliation run off in a general election. Sweet, simple, and fair. Another person here says tired of it. I'm tired of the games in Congress and the entire point of voting being picking the lesser of the two evils. Why can it not just be about what individuals running believe in? Why does it have to be about picking a party and sacrifice our beliefs on just what to be with that one supports the majority of what you stand for? Instead of telling the people what you really and completely stand for, tired of compromise and sacrificing a lesser of the things we care about to gain a few more things we care about. And another reason down here is that no one can think for themselves. They are voting for a party, not a person. We need to get rid of political parties, since I have heard more than not, I am voting all blue, I am voting all red. What happened to vote for who is the best? There's no way that every single Democrat thinks every single person on the Democrat Party is the best and vice versa with the Republicans. There is no thinking in voting this way. It's just voting for a party, not the person. If we were all independent, there would be less fighting in the Senate House itself because they couldn't just side with the party. They would actually have to form their own opinions because everyone is independent, and it isn't easy just to say, oh, they have to be right because they're Democrat or Republican. People would once again have to start thinking for themselves and getting the truth and facts, instead of hating, shaming people who don't agree with your own agenda. Now let's go ahead and by contrast go to the reasons on this part of the chart, which talk about the no reasons why we should definitely keep political parties. A very interesting question, however. From the opposing arguments and the picture alongside, it seems that actually statement should be, should we get rid of political parties in the USA? However, I thought I would give a British perspective, as a lack of parties in the UK would make sure that government would not work at all. Firstly, we could not have a prime minister. Also, without them, how would you fill the positions like Chancellor of the Exchequer or Foreign Secretary? Secondly, and this may be an issue for both countries, let's say I vote for an MP in my constituency. There are no political parties. I would not know if there was widespread support for their ideas. You say parties have gridlocked the system, but with every member of parliament or Congress shouting different ideas, we would get nowhere. It would be more gridlocked than ever. Also, the final point I will bring up is funding without the support of a party. How would one fund their campaigns? This would result in only the most wealthy of individuals could become a politician, which I am sure is something that you don't want to happen. Another reason down here is a world without political parties. There are reasons that political parties exist, and I shall list them below. They maintain pressure on each other, forcing an environment where you have to work to stay on top. Without political parties, it is basically a monarchy with one government that will remain for an indefinite period of time. Political parties enable citizens to express their ideas through them and vote for who they think is best, and those aforementioned reasons are why I disagree with the motion should fall. Another comment here is conveyed. As much as I hate the two-party system and think it is destructive to society, political parties can be a great asset. Political parties provide a way for people to meet with like-minded individuals and promote their interests as a group. That being said, I do feel that Republican or Democrat is a destructive way to divide the population, especially when most of society says you're throwing away your vote if you don't vote for one of the two main parties anyway. Another comment down here is as follows. No, it would destroy free speech. This would destroy our right to free speech. The political parties represent what large groups of Americans stand for. Political parties are representative of people across the U.S., and abolishing them would destroy the identity of many Americans. Without any political party in the U.S. would be under a monarchy of those who are popular in America today. And then down here, rules of business. The reason we have political parties is that without them, no one would compete with a better party. Why would these politicians donate so much money to charities and do good works? Because they're trying to show up for the opposing party. Without it, the central party would decide just to do nothing. Competition can bring out the best and worst in people. So there you guys have it. Those are brief overviews and synopses, if you will, of the issue of should we get rid of political parties. Only time will tell whether or not in our politics we will see the continuation or dismantling of political parties. One thing is for sure, though, this will be the focus of our unit for the next few weeks, and hopefully you can come to your own thoughts and conclusions on both political parties and even all political parties too. Thank you very much for tuning in.